why do we have to have a meeting for you to turn over documentation that you're actually employed?
So with my employment, before I came here, I gave her 3 of my recent pay stubs. I'm not sure why she didn't put it in. The same day that she told me to come in and bring my paperwork in is the same day that she told me.
But why do we have to get to this point? That's what I'm trying to understand, because the field team visited you, according to this, from February 2024, before February 2024, they've been asking for proof of employment. So why do we have to have you come into court for you to start saying, oh, this is important? I can hear. All right, yes.
Judge, I have no reason to believe I don't have everything. There's a couple of misdemeanors. I've conferred this morning. We're gonna bring some stuff forward to the DA to perhaps work this case out. So first setting, we're here, and we'll work towards resolution if you can give.
All right, was an offer tendered?
No, Judge, I think Mr. Hancock wanted me to see whatever you can provide.
That's
I
correct.
considered everything. The other thing, Judge, is that there was some dash cam, but I'm just trying to see whether that exists. I've watched one of the videos, there's 2 videos uploaded, I haven't watched the second. If not, I was just gonna double check with TCSO.
All right, could I have a reset form, please? You all are gonna come back on, and could you call to have someone come down to complete the resets? You're gonna come back on April 22nd. You all gonna need to confer off docket.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll give you a reset form, and once you are sign the reset form, you excuse.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Back and say,
Oh, no, I'm gonna give it to you right now.
oh, thank you, Your Honor.
And counsel, this is gonna be put on the docket as a jury trial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I know, sometimes people want quickness, and we try. I'm sure there'll be other cases that are ahead of you.
Morning, Judge. How you
Morning,
doing?
all right.
It's Zachary Gilmore. Yes, ma'am.
Zachary Gilmore?
I don't know what page he's on your document, Judge.
Oh, I have him on page 18. All right, what is happening with this case? All discovery?
I'm still reviewing the discovery, Judge. I think he's a first setting. I will let him know if we can have another setting to confer if
All right.
possible.
Do you think you received all the discovery?
I'm still going through it.
Okay,
I know there are some medical records that I'm looking at and also some body worn cameras that I have not seen at the scene, but they're there.
all right. And were you able to tender an offer?
A preliminary offer, given just the kind of earliness of confinement of the council, but yes, there has been an offer placed over to defense.
All right. Well, I'll recall you all back on April 22nd. I will not be here because that's my mom's birthday, but Judge Angelini will be. All right. Thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court. Could I have a reset form, please?
Thank you, Judge. We
You're
appreciate it.
Have a seat, Zach.
Thank you. And I'll give you the reset form.
Okay. Going this morning. I'm okay.
All right, thank you. Once you sign that, you're excused.
Do you need my client to sign also, Judge?
Yes, please. They're moving towards paperless, but they haven't told defendants yet. All right, Edwin Rosario Montes.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
We're doing good.
All right. Let me just pull this up. My computer is being slow today.
Oh, second to last is compliance.
All right. So you know why you're here?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Why are you here?
Because of the field visit and because of my work.
Yes. So why is it that you say you work, but you've never submitted to them a pay stub or a paycheck or anything?
So ma'am, before I got sentenced to come see you, she told me to bring paperwork like the day that she sentenced me to come see you, and I brought it to her, and she still sentenced me to come see you. I don't understand why I brought it.
Because you're not doing, because here's the thing. Why is it that I have to have you come in here when you know you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing? For example, the field team, the report I have that you've been employed for over a month, but they don't know the name of your employer, which you know what that means? That means that you didn't give it to them and they asked for it. They say that you hadn't received a paycheck. And I know how some jobs are. When my mom first started working, they would call it a paycheck in the hole. You wouldn't get paid immediately, but that's not your case. So
It just took me a little bit to get a job, but I was able to get it. And like I said, the day that she told me to bring the paperwork in, I was able to provide it, but she still.
who lives with you at your home?
It's just me and my roommate, but right now I'm about to move back to my mom's house.
All right. What is Hornitos tequila?
It's just a drink. I live at my roommate's house. It's an apartment,
And how many bedrooms?
just two.
So why is your apartment in disrepair?
I'm sorry.
Why is the apartment in disrepair?
It's just a little messy.
No, I mean, they're saying that it's not just a little messy. What I'm reading is not good. Have you talked to a counselor? Do you need a counselor? What's going on?
I mean, that would be kind of helpful.
Well, no, I mean, what's going on in your life? Why is your apartment the way it is?
I really don't have an answer. It's just messy.
Do y'all have dogs at that?
Yeah, we do have a dog.
All right, just one?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is that dog?
About a year.
All right, and what type of dog is it?
She's an American bully.
All right. So they're saying there's problems with that apartment based upon, I'm assuming the pet you have, because they're saying it's drenched in urine and feces. So that means somebody is not picking up after the dog.
Not gonna lie, it probably smells a little bad, but it's not like it's not everywhere, but it does smell a little bad.
All right, is this your dog or your roommate's dog?
It's both of our dogs. It's mainly his, but it's both of our dogs.
All right, and you say you're going to go live with your mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you talked to your mom? Does she want you there?
Yes, ma'am. For a little bit, at least a month until I'm able to get my own place. I'm looking to get my own studio apartment for now. I've been looking at it. They're about $600. So they're a little bit more affordable than the apartment that I'm staying at right now.
All right, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
A negative, like my other drug test.
All right, can we do a drug test today?
Yes.
All right, let's see what the drug test is, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do about this situation.
This one.
All right, just have a seat. Ms. Abrams, you want me to take up the others? Benicia Davis.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Just one moment. All right. So do you want to just do your time at the Bear County Jail and be done with this case?
No, I do not.
Then why do you keep skipping tests?
Well, at first it was because it's a certain way you have to do it. When you plug it in, you wait 60 seconds and then you have to wait an additional 90 seconds. So I wasn't plugging in a lot because of my kids, so they wouldn't get to it.
You
And
mean
then I
because of your
plugged it in.
children?
Huh?
You mean because of your children, kids
Yes.
or baby goats?
No, my children.
All right. So what's going on with your children?
Well, they okay. I just had a baby, October 18th. We just currently moved out of our apartment.
All right. Who is we?
Me, my 3 kids.
Children.
My children, yeah, I'm
Yes.
sorry. But yeah, me and my children just moved out, January 1st, back to my mom, so I'm currently looking for a bigger house and, still looking for employment as well, since I just had a baby, so it's kind of hard.
So where's the father? And this is just me asking because I'm
He's
curious.
not around. He went back to Chicago.
All right. So why don't people make plans and do some research before they consider having a child with somebody?
I mean,
Are we
did
just
have
out here?
plans.
Are we just out here having children?
No, we actually did have plans. He who got the house, the furniture and everything, we just didn't work out. So I packed up and I got a U-Haul truck and I moved my stuff out and went back to my mom's and he left.
All right. Here's the thing. If you skip another test, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. So it's probably in your children's best interest that you stay with your mother until this probation is done, because let me just tell you what will happen. If a motion to revoke is filed with you and you're living by yourself with your children, you know what's going to end up happening? CPS is going to get called. And when CPS gets called, they're going to take your children. Then once they take your children, what will end up happening is they'll see if there's a relative who's willing to take all 3. Maybe your mom will say, you know what, I'll step up to the plate, I'll take all 3. Or maybe she may say, you know what, I can't handle 3 children, I'll take 1. And then your children will be spread out to different people, or either they will be in the foster system and they may be spread out in the foster system with 3 different people. How old are your children?
11, 8, 7, and 4 months.
All right. So usually what I can tell you in Child Protective Services cases, everybody wants the baby. And you know why they want the baby? Because they feel as though maybe the baby hasn't suffered too much trauma because they're just a baby. So everybody wants the baby. The 11-year-old, usually in the foster care system, people are like, 11-year-old is too old. So what will end up happening if you don't get your act together is that there's a potential for your children being placed in the foster care system and being split up. So you're going to be living with your mother. You're not moving from your mother's home until this case is done. Do you understand?
When would this case be done, Your Honor?
You'll talk to probation about that. So you're going to live with your mom. And moving around from place to place is not good for children anyway. Ms. Abrams, she's going to stay with her mom. If there's another skipped test, what's going to end up happening is just file a motion to revoke. And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
It's always been negative.
All right. So, and we'll do a drug test today for her. Do you have any questions about anything?
I mean, I do. I feel like I never, since I had the breathalyzer, I never, not once missed. I always blow 3 times a day. If anything, I'm late, but as far as missing, I always blew 3 times a day. So I don't understand why.
From January 5th, 2024 to February 6th, 2024, there have been 16 skip tests. So that's where we are.
It's impossible.
Well, that's what I have.
And Judge, a skip test is a late test, just to make clarification for the court.
Yes,
So even if you're 5 minutes late, they consider that as a skip.
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay.
So you're going to live with your mom? Get her dress for her mom? That's where you're going to live until this probation is completed. You're not going to skip any more tests. If you skip another test, we're not going to have this conversation. Just file a motion to revoke. And if it's in proper order, I'm going to sign it. And it's better for you to be at your mother's house with your children if a motion to revoke is filed than on your own. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. Louis Herrera.
I talked to the ADA, he said that was fine.
Hello, Mr. Herrera. Here we are. It did. Just 1 second. My computer did something weird. Yes. Oh, thank you. All right. Why is it taking you forever to provide your list of medications?
She didn't notify me that I had came out positive. I had reported to her. She
Well,
didn't.
no, let's stop right there. When the probation officer says, I want a list of your medications, it doesn't matter whether you came out positive or not. They want a list of your medications. I don't know what people don't understand. Let me explain to you something about probation. Probation is what people call being on paper. That means that your life is not your own. And you know why your life is not your own? Because when you're on probation, it's a contract. And if you violate the contract, you're looking at going to prison. So really, probation owes you no explanation when they're asking for documentation for something. So whether you had a positive UA or not, they are looking at prison. Do you understand? And when they tell you, I want your prescriptions, you need to provide your prescriptions. Do you understand? If you do not provide your prescriptions, if you do not provide what your probation officer is asking for when requested, guess what? We're not going to have this conversation anymore. What's going to end up happening is the motion to revoke is going to be filed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand if a motion to revoke is filed, you're looking at potentially 10 years in the prison?
Yes, ma'am.
So your actions, you need to start asking yourself, when you don't want to do something that probation is asking of you, you need to ask yourself, is this worth potentially going to prison for 10 years? If the answer is yes, then don't do it. And guess what will end up happening? A motion to revoke will be filed. When a probation officer asks you for information, you give it. If you feel as though probation doesn't deserve to know this, you still give it, and then you come to court and you speak to Ms. Abrams or you speak to me and say, hey, probation asked for this. I gave it to them, but I don't understand why they want it. No one will explain it to me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I see a list of medications that you're on. So some of these medications should fall by the wayside because the hydrocodone, that's supposed to be taken for severe cough. And I see it was refilled in November 2023. Are you still suffering from a severe cough?
No.
Okay, at some point that's supposed to end. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the ibuprofen for moderate pain, that's not supposed to be every day. I'm not a doctor, but I do know that if you take too much ibuprofen, that messes with your kidneys. So that's not supposed to be an everyday thing. And this is me as a non-doctor. Whenever a doctor wants to give people medications, and I've had family members who have medications for certain things, if you're getting ibuprofen for pain, and I see 3 times you've been given it, guess what? You need to find out what the pain is for, because ibuprofen, it doesn't cure the pain. All of this stuff just masks the problem. The problem is still there, but you just don't feel it. So you probably need to start talking to your doctor and asking what's going on if you're on these meds. Do you understand? Now, if you're drug tested today, are you going to be positive for any of this? Are you still taking hydrocodone?
No.
Okay. Are you still taking ibuprofen?
No.
When's the last time you took those medications?
last month.
All right, so you should be negative. Have you taken anything?
No,
All right, so when you're drug tested today, is it going to be negative?
it's fine.
All right, so we're going to do a drug test today. Is there anything else that you're having issues with?
No, ma'am.
Anything? Now's the time to tell me.
No.
All right, so last time it says that you were positive for opiates at the beginning of February. So
Yeah.
you should be negative, okay? So you're going to be negative. You haven't used anything.
No.
All right, just have a seat. We will do that. All right, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Savaggio, is he here?
He's here, Judge. Yes, ma'am.
All right, come forward, sir. Hello, good morning. All right, your case has been dismissed. I don't know what caused you to be here, but go forth and live life as a great citizen, okay?
Outstanding. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Can I see the file on Savaggio, please? It's Kevin. He's the only Savaggio on the docket. Salvaggio. Miss Abrams, do we have people who need water?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Yes, he's on the docket. He's on page 17. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Right there. Judge,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, were released last night. He just got.
Oh, hi, Mr. Rodriguez. All right, you look better out of orange. All right, just have a seat. Your attorney will be here. Okay. Oh, no, I will. Sure. All right, who is here on John Lyles? All right, Mr. Lyles, come down. All right, Mr. Lyles is scheduled for jury trial.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here for Tony Hernandez, the attorney of record judge. He is in Del Rio in felony court this morning. And I just wanted to let the court know that that's where he's at.
All right, is he in Del Rio in felony court for jury trial?
No, not for jury trial, but he's there on appearance.
All right, tell him his client is here on trial.
He doesn't know that, Judge. He just wanted to let the court know that there's a possibility he might not make it back till late this afternoon.
Okay, tell him he needs to make it back because this is a jury case.
Okay.
All right. And it's tell him his client is dressed for trial in a Nightmare from Elm Street t-shirt. Okay,
Let's see.
all right, okay, thank you. All right. They're not ready on that one. Did someone call for the interpreter?
Yes, ma'am, I did. The attorney's already spoken to me. Right?
Yes. All right, which case is this? That
this
needs the
would need to
interpreter.
be-
But your people said that you have. I know.
Brian Maldonado or Rita? Who's the attorney?
Albert Garcia, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, so this is scheduled for a jury trial today.
That is correct, Judge.
All right. Then we'll be here for jury at 11:30. We'll have a jury brought up.
Okay.
Okay.
Judge.
All right. Any questions? No. All right, thank you.
Judge.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Maybe excuse me.
Yes, always great seeing you. Jose Carmona? All right, and counsel, you're on this side, your client's in the middle. It's a felon in possession.
Yes, Your Honor. On the CTD side, but while Hank is absconded, I can provide
Okay,
potential clarity.
all right. So do you have all of the discovery?
I think so, Your Honor. We've gotten some recent pin packet information that doesn't look correct. We're investigating that. We have conferred with CTD, and there is also an unindicted family violence case that is being reviewed, and I have met with the family violence department regarding that. And we're trying to get a kind of a global resolution.
All right, and are you on the family violence case as well?
Yes.
All right. When do y'all think you'll have information for him on the family violence case?
Well, I know that counsel was gonna reach out to the intake attorney, and I've just recently made notes in the system for the intake attorney as well, so as soon as counsel has that opportunity, it shouldn't be longer than maybe a couple weeks at most, wherein a global offer would be able to be tendered to counsel, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, put this on April 8th.
Yes,
All right, we'll come back on April 8th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're trying to.
Yes. Jessica Desamito. Where are you? All right, just raise your hand, have a seat. Jesus Garza. And he's in federal custody, correct?
Correct.
All right, can I see the file on Jesus Garza, please? Okay.
And Judge, just to give you an update on it, he's supposed to be finished in February.
Everyone, please whisper.
He's supposed to be finished in February with sentencing. I believe that Suzanne told me that he has been sentenced. I sent an email this morning to my clerk just to find out if he's in transit or where. So I
It should be
imagine it could be that far off.
Yeah. All right, and I'm assuming the federal case is not going to take care of these.
It just seems like our policy now is not to do what we've done before.
All right, so Norma, he needs to be bench warranted.
I know he can get credit, but I'm saying.
All right, well, do the writ.
Oh, yeah.
All right, better get done. Here's the thing, bring him back on, bring him here on April 1st.
That'd be fine. Judge.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
yes.
Thank you.
Larry Holmes?
Judge, may I approach on that?
Yes.
File
Okay, behind the line. You're in trial?
in the 186.
All right, where's your client?
He's in custody.
All right,
See if we can get him sent.
all right.
I've spoken with the state. And they'll look on that sentence.
Just one moment. We'll call it back April 1st. All right. Norma, Larry Holmes is coming back April 1st. Deputy Mejia, could you bring Mr. Holmes? Is he downstairs? Oh, well, when he comes up, I'll let him know. All right, thank you.
The Larry Holmes?
Yes, you know what? Mejia doesn't know who that is. Next, he's gonna tell me he doesn't know who Hector Camacho is. Yes.
Yeah, well, I think he's in. Like last time we checked, he was in custody.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Go ahead and file this. Ms. Abrams, are you ready for probation?
Yes, sir.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 2435, State of Texas versus Raymond Isaac Uribe. Could I have the parties approach and announce for the record for the state
Zach Dunn for the state, Your Honor.
defense?
John Finch for Mr. Uribe.
And are you Mr. Uribe?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, listed on the docket is Megan Enriquez.
That's correct, Judge. I'm filling in for her right now. She's downstairs in the 175th, I think.
All right, any objections, Mr. Uribe, to this attorney standing in for purposes of the plea?
No.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
We have, Your Honor.
And there are no applications?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Uribe, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are waiving the repeater enhancement, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, we're very grateful. Actually, they're waiving the habitual, so.
All right, Mr.
Oh, it's file stamped habitual. Okay. Okay.
All right, when y'all do the discussions off the record from people from the back, court reporter is still taking it down. So,
And just to confirm, Your Honor, it is a repeat offender that the state is waiving.
all right,
No objection to that.
all right. All right, Mr. Uribe, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it
Yes,
in all the appropriate places?
yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with violation, sex offender registration or previous conviction?
Yes, Your Honor.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Judge.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, and yes.
Mr. Uribe, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. There are no applications. They will take into consideration 2024 CR 2435. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Judge. Can we confirm that clause number 2435? Okay, yes. Thank you.
Next, I'm showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Just one moment, off the record. Excuse me. Can I get the correct file on this case? No, there's an issue here. So here's the issue. 2435 is what I have, and that was the issue with the true bill of indictment, because that's for the possession less than a gram case.
Okay.
So I need the file for 265.
That's why I got confused on the case numbers. When you said the TIC number, I thought, well, that's the number of the patient you called.
Mm-hmm. So to correct the record, the cause number that you're pleading under is 2024 CR 0265. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's what we did the paperwork.
Then to the offense as charged in the indictment. How do you plea? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence,
TNF first states one in attachments, Your Honor.
any objections?
No, Your Honor.
And also to clear the record, Mr. Uribe, I'm showing you the indictment under this cause number. Did you review that indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Right. And counsel, you are waiving the reading of the indictment in that case?
We are, Judge.
All right, Mr. Uribe, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
And counsel, you may continue to confer, state.
Thank you, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, I've explained to him that he needs to be very careful when he gets out because he will be a habitual offender with a mandatory minimum of 25 years. So he tells me he has a job lined up when he does get out eventually. Unfortunately, I think he's just kind of caught in this cycle of homelessness and not being able to register on time, sort of stuff. So we would just ask him to follow.
All right, the court will sentence you to the 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration 2024 CR 2432, and there's to be chapter 62 registration. I'm going to show you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we're off the record. Could I get a copy of the dismissal?
I have it, Your Honor, right?
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Uribe, I understand that it's hard to find housing with your charges. I understand that may result in you being homeless, but you must report because the biggest thing is people not knowing where you are. You understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. John.
Just have a seat.
My arms are long, but they're not that long.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't have that on my docket.
Oh, I guess. People were here for indictments or something.
There's one person, he's here, that's Charles Bach. The other people, they didn't answer up, they must have came in late. So I didn't have them. Joseph Balboa. We're filled with Larry Holmes Balboa.
Rocky Balboa.
Yes, come on down, Mr. Balboa. Denise, why is your client not in Philadelphia?
Ready to Texas, man. How are you doing?
All right, how are you doing?
Okay, man.
All right, see, the thing is that we've had a lot of people in court today with boxers' names, and the young people have no idea what references we're using.
My son's name is Joseph Rocky Balboa.
What?
Yeah, and they knew him after that.
Okay,
Yes, man.
well, you gotta go to Philadelphia. All right, what's happening with this case?
Well, there's a new case that hasn't been indicted yet. That's part of NPR.
my issue is that I have in the 4:57, I have a jury that's supposed to start around 10-ish,
Okay.
so I need. to get
Oh, you
that.
need to go.
So
All right. So when do you all think you're gonna have this information for him on the new case? I think it's no, it's juvenile trial division.
Are you listed on that one? The, do you discovery?
Norma, can you make sure that,
It's not.
can you make sure that he's on the new number one, Mr. Cox? On Balboa? And then we'll reset this so you can get to your jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, on this case, reset this for late March. No, this is the motion to revoke.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard this.
No. All right, so we're gonna come back on March 28th. And if your attorney finishes with this trial sooner and wants you brought over sooner, we'll do that, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Abrams? Balboa is coming back on March 28th. His attorney is in a jury trial. And if you'll make sure that he's on the new number one. Larry Holmes, if you'll come down, sir. Mr. Holmes, your case is being recalled for April 1st. Your attorney is actually in a jury trial in another court. So if he finishes his jury trial earlier, we'll bring you back, all right? All right, thank you. Christopher Rodriguez. Who's the attorney for Christopher Rodriguez? All right, where's Christopher Rodriguez?
Custody, Your Honor.
All right, come down.
On that, number one, he's been on it since February.
Okay. All right, so an offer is due. Has an offer been tendered?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, how old are you, sir?
34, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Recall this case at the end of March. All right, we're coming back on March 28th. That's your plea deadline date. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. If you choose not to accept the offer, or if no agreement is reached, then your plea deadline date will have expired and the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Do you understand?
What's that mean?
I'll explain that to him, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else?
No.
All right, thank you.
Hold up. So, number one, Larry Holmes. And leave it. I'm not. Just have a seat. How can you get to the
Have a seat, have a seat. Have a seat.
March something. No, when it's one coming back.
And Norma, we need a jury up here by 11:30. Louis, oh, are we still waiting on Mr. Herrera and?
Yes, Judge.
All right.
You good? No.
Oh.
Okay.
Christopher Black.
He's on Zoom, Judge.
Yes. All right, Mr. Black, you need to show your video. And unmute. Court is calling 2021 CR 11535, State of Texas versus Christopher Darrell Black. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Zach Dunn for the state.
Defense?
Kelly Biddle.
And are you Mr. Black?
Yes, I am. Your Honor.
All right, any objection to Mr. Black appearing by video, state?
That's all, Your Honor.
All right, defense has filed a motion for early termination. State, have you had a chance to review that?
We have.
And state, are you opposed?
We are.
All right. State, why are you opposed?
I think just for three critical reasons, Your Honor. One, just the severity of the injury, just the nature of, it's almost a foot long, if you will, the scrape to the back. This probationer has only served about fourth of their total term. And we don't believe, and they have a short, if you will, criminal history, not family violence or violence related, but they're in a criminal history. So for those three reasons, the state is opposed, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Judge, Mr. Black has completed everything that the court has asked of him. I would disagree with Mr. Dunn's characterization of the injuries. He pushed his stepfather-in-law, and the man fell backwards into a credenza and scratched his back. He's had no contact with the complainant. He's done everything the court's asked of him. The purpose of probation is rehabilitation. I think Mr. Black is a prime example for why he should be allowed early termination, and to keep him on probation longer just for not a really good reason from the state, just to keep him on probation. It just works counterintuitive to what this court is hoping to accomplish with probation.
All right. Anything else from either side?
Just to quick clarify, I'm not sure it's counterintuitive to hold people to the term that they've agreed to. Again, we're at almost less than a fourth of the total term. And the state would just like to, again, stand by the classification and characterization of the injury to the back. It's nearly the whole left side, if you will, give or take a couple inches on either side. So not a small scrape or a paper cut, but certainly an injury of relative significance, if you will.
This is a misdemeanor, other than the fact that the plaintiff is 68.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. He's been on probation since February 3rd, 2023. You can resubmit your application or your request in February. The motion for early termination at this time is denied.
Can he be allowed to report quarterly?
All right. Any objections to him reporting quarterly or by mail?
No, Your Honor.
Because my understanding, he's in Cameron County, is that correct? All right. Is there any objection to him reporting by mail?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
I'll allow him to report by mail. I think that gives him something for having completed everything early. Mr. Black, we can go off the record.
Yes, sir.
All right. You just need to have more time on probation. Sometimes people race through things. It's sort of similar to when people are in treatment and they race through all of the steps. And then they say, I've done everything, let me off. So I do recognize that you have completed everything, but come back to me in February. And if everything is still the same and there are no violations, I'll strongly consider early termination. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Will the court waive the remaining supervisory fees until next year?
No.
Okay.
Supervisory fees are how probation officers are paid their salaries. So I do not weigh those. If there is something else, maybe fines or anything of that nature, I will. But supervisory fees, no. And if someone would like supervisory fees waived, if you'll present a motion, I will strongly consider it. But for now, in this case, my understanding, the only fees he has to pay are supervisory fees. Are there other fees that he has to pay other than supervisory?
I don't believe so.
All right. So if you want to present something that's saying for some reason his finances are such that he cannot pay supervisory fees, then I'll review that. But just asking for it, no. And I'll allow him to report by mail. Is there anything else?
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Black. Keep up the good work.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and just off the record, have you had any contact with your mother or no?
No, ma'am, Your Honor. Since moving down to Brownsville, we've had no contact with family, no one whatsoever. Just been, I reinvented my career, support my family.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's fine.
All right, you're excused, Mr. Black.
I don't want to keep one. I know that's in a box. So. Yeah. I think that is actually by the same. It's not. No, it never was. Oh, right. No, I'm sure you're right. I really like that. I think you're right. I did. For sure.
So has a chat been done with him or something?
She very much. She doesn't want to be done about it. She doesn't want to stop her. Sure.
Roberto Rosales. Hello.
Judge, he was a little late, so it looks like he's here now. So I was just gonna let the court know. But
Yeah, and so here's the problem. I'm gonna check to see if he was a little late because he was a little late last time and I admonished him not to come in. So let me check. Yep, you were late again today. You're gonna be spending the day with us.
I've been here since 9 o'clock.
No, I called you and you didn't respond to the docket.
I didn't hear. I might have been in the restroom. I've been here for like 45 minutes, but it's okay. I understand.
So yes, what is happening with this case?
I'm gonna confer with the state judge.
All right, so have a seat. Deputy Mejia, Mr. Rosales is going to be spending the day with us today. But he can, he's not in custody, but he is not to leave the courtroom. They are conferring on that. Paul Bell. And then after Mr. Bell, it will be Mr. Klein.
I'm sorry.
I came out positive for cocaine, which I don't know why, but the marijuana, I didn't think it would be in my system.
All right, so here's my question for you.
Yes,
Why are you being dishonest with the court? You're on deferred adjudication for a case that could land you in prison for life.
Yes, ma'am, I understand that.
So you're not supposed to be using, there are other things that are going on in your life. I don't know what, but
That's why I asked you, you could refer me to a counselor maybe. I'm
no,
not gonna lie, I've been,
no. Now you're trying to backtrack with me, and I don't appreciate that because I asked you if you were going to be positive. I remember we had this whole conversation about people's higher power, and you still sat there drinking water, and I'm sure you were praying that you would be negative.
no,
And the answer was you're positive, and you're positive for marijuana, and you're positive for cocaine. All right, so this is what's going to end up happening. You're going to take a seat in the box, and you're going into treatment today.
the treatment,
Mhm.
what is that?
All right, just have a seat in the box. Trayvon Stevenson. All right, what is this concerning?
We're just gonna address the court. We're gonna just talk about, he was back in November. He was granted probation. Asked to be assessed for drug court. And the alternative looked in SATF, but we are 4 months later, he's still in the jail. So I've been talking to probation. He was assessed for drug court back in December,
Mhm.
denied drug court.
And why was he denied drug court? Probation, this is Trayvon Stevenson. Do you know the reason he was denied drug court?
Yes,
The judge said it was because of.
You probably want them to answer.
It says ADHD due to violent history and supposed drug dealer.
All right, so that's why you're not in felony drug court. So you need to go into somebody's inpatient treatment. So that's where we are. I understand there's been some wait time. Where is he on the list?
Judge, as I told counsel, there was some mix up with his cases, the 3 cases, and which ones he was actually mandated that if not accepted into felony drug court.
Mhm.
Currently, he is due for medical tomorrow.
Mhm.
And then 1 to 2 weeks after the medical clearance.
All right, and so that would put us at so then he should be transferred by the end of March.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so what we're gonna do a phantom date, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, March 25th, put it as a phantom date. So he should be transferred by March 25th.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so if he's not transferred by March 25th, the court will do something else.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
In this courtroom session, the judge begins by calling the docket and reminding everyone in the courtroom about the rules and expectations. She explains that when a name is called, each person must stand so the court knows they are present. If someone fails to respond, the court may assume they are absent and a warrant could even be issued. The judge also stresses the importance of attorneys being fully prepared before approaching the court, having already spoken with their clients, coordinated with prosecutors, and arranged interpreters if necessary. As the session continues, the judge handles several cases while maintaining order in the courtroom. She warns people not to block the deputies, not to interfere with court equipment, and to keep conversations quiet while proceedings are on the record. In one moment, the judge also addresses a defendant's situation directly, emphasizing that probation comes with strict responsibilities. She explains that when someone is on probation, their life is no longer entirely their own, and failing to follow instructions or provide required information could lead to serious consequences, including prison. Throughout the hearing, the judge balances professionalism with firm reminders about accountability, making it clear that the court expects respect, preparation, and honesty from everyone who appears before it. Question: do you think strict courtroom rules like these help keep the justice system fair and organized? If you enjoy real courtroom moments like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more courtroom stories.